Welcome back. Since the drop of the green flag, it's been all Corey LaJoie here in the Kevin Whitaker 140. Pace car comes off the racetrack. Field 2x2. Sergio Pena back on the outside. Green flag back in the air. This time a better start by Pena. Let's see how he can do against that 07.
As you mentioned before, he wants to get back down to the inside. Not able to do it right now. Chase Elliott closes the hole.
Chase Elliott running to the inside in that number 9. Trying to hold off the 4 of Sergio Pena. He has the opening now if he wants to take it.
Yeah, Sergio drove it hard down into turn number 3. Gave him a little bit of a gap there. How about Gresham on the outside going after Pena?
Max Gresham still side by side with Chase Elliott. The battle for third continues. Gresham moving ahead of Elliott as they go into turn number 3.
Tough to make it work up there, but he needs to keep Chase pinched down a little bit. Oh, caution again on the racetrack.
This time it's the 98 of Chad Boat that has problems. Chad Boat getting into that 12. Little Chad Fincham.
Yeah, a little contact with Chad Fincham. A lot of damage to the curb records Chevrolet of Chad Boat.
So under our second caution early on in this one, after 14 laps, it's Corey LaJoie dominating at Greenville Pickens. And welcome back. About to get back underway with the Kevin Whitaker 140. It's still Corey LaJoie out front. Sergio Pena on his outside. Green flag goes back in the air, side by side into turn 1.
Sergio's made a couple runs at Corey, not able to do anything with him from the outside. He's been able to get back down to the bottom in front of Chase Elliott. He's going to drive it hard down in turn number 3. Chase still has his nose there, though.
Chase Elliott running hard, trying to stay in front of that 4, at least on the inside, to hold him off, but he's not able to as Sergio Pena moves into that second spot and is able to get down to the bottom of the racetrack.
There's Matt DiBenedetto side by side with a 0-0 of Brett Moffitt. That's a battle for 5th.
Moffitt on the inside, DiBenedetto on the outside, just behind that 18 of Max Gresham. Here comes the 42. Also, Brandon McReynolds trying to make a run.
A good top 10 qualifying effort for Brandon in the 42 car.
Just inside of him, Darrell Wallace Jr. in that number 6 drops back. So DiBenedetto gets to the inside. McReynolds still on the outside. Brett Moffitt chasing after that 18 of Max Gresham now.
Brett Moffitt won this race in dominating fashion here in the spring. Set on the pole at all 150 laps.
Also got a win at Iowa earlier this season.
Huge win.
Yeah, putting him up to 6 wins now for his career, and they've got high expectations for Brett Moffitt, obviously coming off of 2 championship seasons with Michael Waltrip Racing in that 0-0 with Ryan Truex behind the wheel.
And Brett finished in the top 10 in points his 2 full seasons in the series, including second last year to Ryan Truex.
Brandon McReynolds trying to hold off Darrell Wallace Jr. Brandon, the son of Larry McReynolds, Daytona 500 winning crew chief for Dale Earnhardt.
Brandon should be in this car the remainder of the season. Nice young man.
Max Gresham still trying to hold off Brett Moffitt in that 0-0. Out in front, Corey LaJoie hasn't put the distance between himself and Sergio Pena like he had on the 2 previous restarts.
Just doesn't done him any good. He opened up that big lead and the caution keeps coming out.
Battle for 4th continuing. Moffitt all over the back bumper of Max Gresham.
Remember now, this is an afternoon race. This race was scheduled, as you mentioned earlier, for a nighttime race last week. And this is the first time I think these guys, at least in recent memory, have run during a day here at Greenville. So we talked about Corey LaJoie saying this racetrack was going to be pretty slick.
83 degrees the temperature when the green flag flew. So it is a warm day here in Greenville, South Carolina, as Corey LaJoie's heating it up front.
See, all single file running right now.
Sergio Pena holding on to that second spot, trying to break into the top 5 as the 0-0 of Brett Moffitt. Derek.
You know, we are in the point of the season where Brett Moffitt hits his biggest stride. The end of the years is usually where the team picks up momentum. Last year, he finished second at New Hampshire and then turned around and won Dover. He won the April race here earlier this year, leading every lap. He really feels that he has a good advantage to take the point lead tonight because Max Gresham has had 2 finishes here of 21st and 23rd.
Well, right now, he's going to have to get in front of Max Gresham to gain any points.
That's the big race right now, is the race on track for position, but also the big picture with this being the 3rd race from the end for the points championship. Again, those two are separated by just 40 points coming into this race.
But remember, we go to Dover or Loudon and Dover for the last two races, and they will start bigger fields at those races too. So there's more points to be lost or gained in those races.
Still the old point system that they run here in the NASCAR Can-Am Pro Series East, the way they used to run in the Cup and the Nationwide and the Truck Series. So there's a bigger variance between positions in the point standings. So we see that battle continuing between Max Gresham in the 18 and Brett Moffitt in that 00.
Sergio Pena is hanging with Corey LaJoie now in this little run here. See him about a couple car lengths behind right now. Chase Elliott doing a nice job. This was his debut. First 15-year-old ever to run the series here back in April, and he had a top 5 finish, finished 4th.
So impressive, and he gets a 3rd qualifying position, a number 3 spot to start this race. So he's figuring it out. Again, Chase Elliott, the son of Bill Elliott.
Long way to go yet in this race. 110 laps to go.
But Brandon McReynolds just in front of that 6 of Darrell Wallace Jr.
There's Alex Bowman in the 16 car. Alex ventured off and won an ARCA race here while these guys have been on hiatus.
Brandon's best finish, 8th Can-Am Pro Series East. This is a situation where it looks like Brandon's holding up the field. You can see that Darrell Wallace Jr. has got a faster race car. Now he looks to the inside, trying to take that spot away.
Just about able to stick his nose in there. Brandon knows that if Darrell Wallace Jr. gets him up off the bottom, there's a train behind him. Be a good opportunity to lose a bunch of positions.
Yeah, these 3, the first opening coming even behind Alex Bowman, behind the 14 of Dylan Frisnell.
You know, Darrell Wallace Jr. has run 19 races in his career, and he's finished in the top 10 15 times in those 19 races.
Yeah, very impressive for that young man. 4 wins already in his career, driving for the U.S. Army number 6.
Max Siegel, John Story, and all the guys at Revolution Racing. Andy Santerre runs that operation, and Andy's certainly no stranger to victory lane and championships in this series.
Definitely. And his teammate Sergio Pena already been to victory lane twice this year. Broke the seal on wins for Sergio Pena. We had high expectations for him after the 2010 opener out in California.
So impressive there. Set on the pole, led a bunch of that race, and narrowly lost to Joey Logano. Didn't have the year last year that we were expecting, as you mentioned, but he has turned it around this year. Really doing a nice job. You know, his crew chief, Matt Goslin, was a crew chief for Eric Holmes when he won the West Series championship last year.
How about a great battle now as Darrell Wallace Jr. has moved to the inside of Larry McReynolds' son, Brandon McReynolds. And right behind him, you see Alex Bowman making the move. He's going to try to close the door, not let Brandon McReynolds down.
Yeah, Alex Bowman wants to pull right up to the rear bumper of Darrell Wallace Jr. Keep Brandon hung to the outside here.
Not the preferred line around this racetrack. Brandon McReynolds will try to find a way to get back down to the bottom of the track. He does right after Bowman gets by him.
Yeah, there was an opening right in front of the 14 of Dylan Presnell, and none with the X-Team Racing guys. Teammate to that 16 of Alex Bowman, as well as the 15 of DiBenedetto.
Now that Brandon McReynolds is out of the way of Darrell Wallace Jr., we'll see if Darrell Wallace Jr. can start to reel in the guys in front of him.
See if it can open up some gap here with some clean racetrack. You see that's DiBenedetto just about 6 or 8 car lengths ahead of him right now.
Darrell Wallace Jr. trying to chase after these guys out in front. That's Corey LaJoie and Sergio Pena running 1 and 2 here at Greenville Pickens Speedway. Long green flag run so far here.
Yeah, and Corey has a pretty comfortable margin right now of about 4 car lengths, if you can call that comfortable.
At a short track, I don't know if you can ever be comfortable. Corey LaJoie in front of Sergio Pena. LaJoie looking for his first win, his best finish ever, 2nd, Bowman Gray.
In Dover last year, a couple second place finishes. See Chase Elliott, good battle now for 3rd. Chase Elliott, Max Gresham in the 18, Brett Moffitt in the 00. That's your top 5.
Those two stay nose to tail. Again, 1 and 2 in the point standings is Gresham and Moffitt. The battle for 3rd continues. Chase Elliott, Max Gresham, and Brett Moffitt. And the 3rd caution comes out. This time it's Michelle Theriot in the 45.
See a lot of damage to the rear of that 45 car.
So only our third caution has come out at Greenville Pickens Speedway. We'll be back with more of the Kevin Whitaker 140 after these messages.